they're going to try to agitate. Why? Because at the RNC, Trump gave a speech of seeing kind and gentle and loving and a way to unify. And they'd never seen a Trump like that before. It's like, who is this person? That's what happens when you have a close call. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 all these things are happening. And then Trump's threatened. And then whenever he's threatened, what does he do? Attack. I don't think he needs to, because when you put resume to resume, Kamala isn't 1/1000th of a resume of what President Trump has done.
With everyone having meltdowns about how successful, quote unquote, successful Kamala Harris's campaign is becoming, even though we all know it's very astroturfed, and people like Patrick Bet-David are doing a great job at exposing it. And then we also have the whole Joe Rogan situation where he's saying he's not going to vote for Donald Trump. He will probably vote for RFK if he doesn't drop out of the race first. But we also have people, like I said, like Patrick Bet-David, who went on Fox News and just absolutely tears Kamala Harris to shreds, just destroys her entire campaign, because as a lot of people know, it's very astroturfed. It's very faked. This is all just, very manipulated, the press manipulating the masses at it's very obvious. It's very, very obvious. But people are still falling for it because, as I always say, yes, this is an astroturfed campaign. It's fake support. But it's still, in the eyes of 90% of the population who are sheeps, it is still support. And whenever they see somebody gaining in the polls and getting traction on social media as being the cool, hip, new candidate, well, they're just going to fall in line because they are sheep. But we still have people out there like Patrick Bet-David who are exposing the nonsense when it comes to this whole Kamala Harris campaign versus Donald Trump. Let's get into this clip of PBD going on Fox News and tearing Kamala Harris and her campaign to shreds.
Founder Patrick Bet-David joins me now. All right. My mom, big lib, Pat, she calls me, she says, Jesse, you're underestimating her. She's a threat. She's going to beat Trump. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. Am I wrong? Am I taking her not seriously enough?
I think you ought to listen to your mom. First of all, Jesse, it's good to see you back. I'm glad you're doing better. But
thank you.
The part about competition is you can never underestimate your opponent. $200 million they raised. And the strategy they're going to get is when they make you change your game plan. And that's what they're trying to do to Trump. That's the part that Trump cannot fall and try to pivot to her in too much of a way. Here's what I mean by it. So they're going to try to agitate. Why? Because at the RNC, Trump gave a speech of seeing kind and gentle and loving and a way to unify. And they'd never seen a Trump like that before. It's like, who is this person? That's what happens when you have a close call. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 all these things are happening. And then Trump's threatened. And then whenever he's threatened, what does he do? Attack. I don't think he needs to, because when you put resume to resume, Kamala isn't 1/1000th of a resume of what President Trump has done. They're going to try.
You know what really sucks about this? Like, Patrick Bet-David is completely speaking facts here. But what really sucks about this is nobody cares that Donald Trump is changing his tone, that he is calling for peace and being nicer and stuff like that at the RNC, with his speech at the RNC. Nobody cares. Like I said, Patrick Bet-David is spot on here. But they're still spreading the same exact narratives about Donald Trump. And the people who believe those narratives are not open-minded enough to even look at what Donald Trump is saying in his speeches. They've already made their mind up. You look at what Whoopi Goldberg and Bill Maher and Kamala Harris's campaign, all these places are saying about Trump. It's the same exact thing that they said about him in 2016 and 2020. And honestly, it's even worse. They're lying about him even more. When it comes to the abortion issue and the Project 2025 stuff, Donald Trump has said over and over again, he has no want to push the abortion laws any further than he's already done it, any further than it is currently. He doesn't want to push it anymore. He doesn't want to ban abortion. And yet Whoopi Goldberg in The View and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and all these people, CNN, every single woke news outlet out there are saying we need to vote for Kamala because Donald Trump wants to take away women's rights. Donald Trump has said over and over again, he doesn't want to move on the abortion topic anymore. He wants it to stay exactly where it is. It's in a great spot. And I agree with him. I think it is in a great spot. I think all laws should be left up to the states, but you know that already. And when it comes to the Project 2025 stuff, Donald Trump disavows Project 2025 on a daily basis to the dismay of his fans. His fans, his supporters don't like Donald Trump disavowing Project 2025 because Project 2025 isn't even that bad. It's given this ominous name, and everybody talks about how bad it is, and they always say, hey, look into Project 2025. Guarantee you anybody who actually says that has never looked into Project 2025, because there's nothing that crazy about it. But Donald Trump keeps disavowing it because he's trying to be this nicer, more peaceful guy, and it doesn't change a thing. It literally doesn't change a thing. All it does is galvanize the base that Donald Trump already has a little bit less. But it's not ever going to capture the other side because they're just going to continue to lie. None of it matters. Like it's such a black pill, actually, because no matter what Trump does, says, no matter what, they're just going to continue to spew these same exact lies over and over and over again till the end of time, till the end of Donald Trump's political career.
To make the American people believe that she's done more things than Trump, but Trump just has to stick to his resume and not allow any of this stuff to bother him. And if he does that, he's going to win by landslide.
I agree. If he's the gentle giant and kind of almost soars over the BS and doesn't even pay much attention to it, doesn't get in the weeds with it, you'd say it's a landslide. But the problem, you're saying, is if he gets sucked into the gutter. And that's what they wanted him to do during the debate. Remember, Biden was supposed to inflame him, get Trump to go crazy, call him a dictator and a rapist. And Trump was smooth and decimated Joe Biden. Do you think Trump runs the risk of being baited by Kamala and the media?
Absolutely. And the reason for that is because there are certain people in the world that they can't help but to fight. They're natural fighters. When you come up in the streets of New York winning in real estate, every day's a fight. When you come up in media and you're trying to put up a show and you're number one for 15 years, it's a fight. When you come up politics and you're trying to become a president and all these things come about you, rumors, Russia, all this stuff, it's a fight. He's been fighting his entire life. So to tell a 78-year-old man who...
Not to mention the guy just got shot. They tried to assassinate him. You know, he just got shot like very recently. So yeah, just to add to the point that Patrick Bet-David's making there, his whole political career has been a huge fight. His whole life has been a fight, you know?
Fights when he golfs. He does. Everything's about winning. Hey, listen, pump the brakes when they agitate you and take shots. Who do you think you are? I've been with me for 78 years. You think you can give me any feedback? That's the tough part. But for me, it's resume to resume, and certain things as a tough guy, you don't need to fight 98% of people. Let your generals do the fighting with the 98%. Pick the top 1% of people you want to fight, go after them, but not everybody else. I don't know if he's going to do that or not, because here's the other challenge, Jesse, to be thinking about. Sometimes in your own community, you can be given a speech, and your audience you're speaking to in front of you, they're all like, yeah, go after them. Don't be nice. Don't do this and don't do that. That's exactly what you do. You're not converting anybody. You already have their votes. You need to get the independents to say, this is a different man. I like him. I'll vote for him. Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance.
If you enjoy content like this, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
I like him. This could make me want to support him. You're not, every time he speaks, he needs to realize you're not talking to MAGA. You already have them. You're talking to independent. Like there needs to be an affirmation on the phone, and everybody around him, like just Marcus Aurelius used to have a slave behind him and say, hey, you're not as important as you think you are. Somebody needs to whisper to him right before he hits the stage. Remember, you're trying to win over independents, not MAGA. You've already won them over. Win over independents. That's who you need. He does that, he'll be the 47th president again.
All right, so who wants to play Marcus Aurelius, his little guy in the background? I think someone should whisper in his ear, don't play to the crowd, because you're right. There's a temptation as an entertainer, because that's at his core what he was for many, many years on NBC, to get the crowd going and get that action going. But that's not what the camera wants. The camera, you're speaking to the nation. And he does have to remind himself that if someone else isn't going to do that for him. Here he is with Laura Ingraham just moments ago. He was asked about Kamala Harris. Let's see if he was as disciplined as you say he needs to be. Watch.
Everybody knows who I am. And now people know who she is. She's a radical left lunatic. She'll destroy our country. She wants open borders.
And why not debate her?
Well, wait. But because they already know everything. She wants to defund our police. She wants no bail. She wants no cash. You kill somebody and we're going to release you immediately. They call it cashless. By the way, this has been a horrible thing for our country. This has been what I just said. But We know where she is. She wants high taxes.
How would you assess that Kamala Harris attack there?
Look, I've been creating content since 2000.
By the way, what do you guys think? Because I'm going back and forth. Like, I think PBD's making good points. Obviously, Jesse Waters making good points. But when it comes to PBD saying that Donald Trump needs to target independents, how many independents, like, are there really out there? And I'm not saying how many independents put their self as independent on polls, because a lot of people like to think of themselves as independents and they don't have a single independent thought that's ever been generated in their head, you know? So I'm talking about actual independents. How many people are out there who are seriously sitting and saying, you know, between Kamala Harris and between Donald Trump are undecided right now? I don't think there's many people who are undecided. I personally think basically everyone, maybe 5% of the population are undecided. 5% of voters are undecided. Basically everyone has already made their choice because we have enough information, we have enough footage, we have enough evidence on who the better president is and everybody's different eyes, and who the better candidate is and everybody's different opinions, different eyes, different viewpoints. And everybody's kind of made their decision. I think Donald Trump trying to pander to the middle of the road people that don't really exist. Like I said, people love to say they're independent, but not many people have actual independent original thoughts. They're just not out there. You know, I don't care what you say. You're probably not an independent voter. Like, you're probably not an actual independent thinker. But is he losing? I just feel like just looking at the comment section, looking at Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, I think Donald Trump trying to pander to those independents, to those middle of the road people, I think it's losing him a lot of his hardcore supporters, you know? And let me know in the comments, maybe I'm completely off base. Maybe you are a hardcore Trump supporter and you love the fact that he's pandering to the independents and stuff like that. I think that it's going to lose him a lot more support than it gains him. I don't think there's that much support to be gained by pandering to those people. Let me know in the comments, though, what you thought about what Patrick Bet-David had to say here on Jesse Waters on Fox News. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Kamala Harris, Patrick Bet-David, Donald Trump situation.